I'm Lars Kolendorf and I'm from HPE Aruba Networking. I'm in the EMEA team and I'm running our pre-sales, solution sales and enablement team.
So what are you showcasing at GITEX this year?
So as always we are showing our portfolio, but networking have changed a lot from being just a connectivity layer to be a lot more than that. I call it a business enabling platform. Every one of us want to connect. Every one of us now works from different places. We don't go into a building and work anymore, right? We work from a coffee shop, from an event like this, from an airplane. So now the connectivity layer is all about, is it wired, is it wireless, with security, is it maybe a private 5G connection, is it a software-defined wide area network? So the connectivity layer is the first part we are showing. So we're showing all the products in that connectivity layer. And then it goes to the next layer, which is on the security side, because it goes without saying, and GITEX is a good example of this. There's so much focus on cybersecurity now that we of course need to make sure that the security layer is there. So that's the next layer we are showing. And then we go into the how do you manage all of this? Because with the trend, and we can talk about that later, but with the trend of not spending much time as the CIO organization, spending much time on actually configuring devices, that needs to automate, because as an IT team, you need to look at what's the outcome, what are my users asking for, what is the line of business requesting. So you need an automation layer, an AI layer, if you will, that are really helping manage things more automated with less human resources, because you don't have money to get them or you can't find them. And then the last layer is then the adapt layer, as we call it. That's where you can consume this either by buying the products or you can buy it as a service. So those 4 layers, we've tried to build a stand so you see all those 4 layers with the infrastructure at the bottom, the most eye-catchy part, if you will. We have a flying access point at the stand where you see Wi-Fi 6E, the new technology. But that's kind of the high level of what we are showing. So everyone from connecting the device to how you consume it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your data center switching portfolio?
On data center, which is also part of what we are showing, data center changes. We now call it the 4th generation data center. And if you look back at data center, there's been different transformations, at least 3 generations of that. And for many of them, what happens is you were connecting as a user, a device, you were connecting to data somewhere. And your traffic went from that client to the data center and back, and we call that for north-south traffic. When you were protecting that, you were buying firewalls. And in firewalls, you can really understand what happens, what are you allowed to do, and what data can you access. The challenge with it is that now the traffic pattern changes. So with all the new applications, with all the new hosts on a virtual server, on all the new IoT devices that share data, on ChatGPT, on AI, all of that requires a lot of data, but those data are often handled between different servers. So the change is you don't want to have traffic going to an external firewall and be analyzed, inspected, checked and go back. You want the firewall, if you will, to be much closer to where the data is. So in our new data center offering, we spend a lot of investment in building out our data center portfolio, growing from the switches we have into data center and adding security. So we've now actually we call it 4th generation data center, we've added a firewall in the switches in the data center close to where the data is. So we have 800 gig of firewall at the server layer and not having to go to an outside firewall. So it's a whole new way of looking at data center. It's a much more secure, better cost effective, and honestly a new generation of data center. So we've spent a lot of energy showcasing that as well at the stand.